Bill Fay is a vice president and the general manager of the Toyota division at the Toyota Motor Company. And Bill, let's start out talking about the car market. The industry set an all-time record in the United States in 2015. Did you think that car sales would continue to be this hot into 2016?
You know, we thought it did, but all along we felt they would start to level off after last year's record level. So our forecast right now is for about a 17.6 industry for 2016. That's about what it's going to be for the first quarter. So far, I think our crystal ball for this year is on track.
So a little bit of a tick up from last year.
A little bit of a tick up, and you know, the market remains very strong, and you know, it's a light truck market. There's an awful lot of activity on the light truck side of things.
And so you guys need more trucks then, right?
We are asking for more trucks. Our manufacturing brothers are working really hard to do what they can to produce us more pickup trucks and sport utilities, and they've been a big help.
And yet here at the New York Auto Show where we're at, you're introducing the plug-in version of the Toyota Prius. You got to do that too.
Well, we do, and that's the great thing about Toyota. It's a broad product lineup. We feel like we have something for everybody, and our big news today was about Prius Prime.
Why the name Prime?
Well, we just thought it was a great way to summarize the benefits of Prius, but with a plug-in that we can take it a step further and deliver a little bit more technology and capabilities than what our Prius liftback has. So we just thought it was a great name to dovetail with the technology.
You also made some very noticeable styling changes to the car too. Why that?
Well, that's kind of the big change, one of the big changes in this generation plug-in from the last one. In the past, they were very similar vehicles. This time we changed the styling, and I think it's going to help us differentiate a little bit more the successful liftback model to this new plug-in model. So not only will the capabilities be different and improved, but the styling's also going to be different.
There's been a debate amongst other automakers, not Toyota so much, that maybe making hybrids and or electrics, plug-ins in this case, different is because the people who buy those cars like to show that they're driving a hybrid or a plug-in, versus those who say, boy, if we're ever going to get any real volume out of it, though you guys have set the benchmark in terms of volume with the Prius, the other car companies are saying maybe we got to go more mainstream with the styling. How do you explain why Toyota's gone with the true differentiation?
Well, John, I think it's a little bit of both. The real intenders and emotional consumers for this kind of technology really want to see some updated technology and some improvements, and some of the advantages and improvements we were able to build into Prius Prime. We also, as an industry, have some work to do to get the mainstream part of the market to understand the difference between a hybrid, a plug-in hybrid, an electric vehicle, and now we're selling fuel cells in California. So that mainstream part of the market, to bring more of them into considering this type of technology, we have to do a better job explaining what those advantages are and the consumer benefits of those.
Does it sort of baffle you that here we are, I don't know, the Prius first came out, what, we're coming up on 20 years just about, right?
Yeah.
And you still have to explain the technology?
Well, I think we're going to be doing it for a while, only because, you know, there's hybrid, there's plug-ins, there's electrics, and now there's fuel cells, and I think, you know, a big part of the market hasn't really been paying attention to it, but over time, with all the improvements in technology and safety, they're catching up to it, and now they're listening, so we have to do a better job explaining why that technology is good for them.
And let's talk a little bit about the driving range, pure electric on this. I think you've got it up to what, about 22 miles?
Yep, so that's double from our previous gen. We kind of look at this as an overall balance to MPGe, the overall miles per gallon, which should be about 54. The MPGe should be about 120, which should lead kind of the segment. The amount of time it takes to recharge the batteries. So from an overall standpoint, our EV range isn't a leader, but I think the overall package is going to be something that we can really talk to the consumer about, between overall range, MPGe, MPG, and amount of time it takes to recharge the battery.
In the Prime here, a lot of the buzz on the floor here is the big 11-inch screen that you put on this thing. Is that a harbinger of things to come for other Toyota models?
Well, From a sales and marketing standpoint, I hope so, but this is going to give us a good chance to get some consumer feedback on the pros and cons of that size screen. We're very optimistic that the consumers are really going to like it, and that will give us some ammunition to go back to our engineering team and see if we can't build it into more of our products.
But it's an option, right?
It is, yes.
And what will you charge for that?
Again, we don't have pricing yet,
Okay.
so hope to make it very affordable.
Talking about pricing, Toyota just announced that it's going to make its suite of safety technologies standard. You've been charging money for this up to now. What led you to say, hey, are you going to, and I'm thinking the price was around $2,300 or something like that for the package.
Yep.
Do you eat the cost? Do you just boost the price that much, or how are you going to do this?
Well, we're going to integrate it into the base cost of the vehicles that have it. So we're really excited to be able to bring that kind of technology into the mainstream part of the market. So you're going to have Corollas and Camrys now with automatic braking and lane departure alert and automatic high beams and some real things that add a lot of value and mean a lot to families that are out there looking for cars to take them around or for their sons and daughters to buy. So we're going to integrate it into the standard base price of the vehicles. We're going to have it in 20 of 25 Toyota and Lexus models by the end of 2017, and we're very optimistic that that will lead the industry and certainly support NHTSA's effort to try and get that kind of automatic braking in all vehicles by 2022.
Which could have a significant impact on reducing fatalities and accidents.
Not only for pedestrians, but make these vehicles a whole lot more safer to drive. And I think it will help us not only with the overall perception of Toyota vehicles, but I think it's going to add a lot to the purchase cycle and the interest of consumers to come in and look at maybe trading out of their vehicles to be able to access some of that safety equipment that wasn't available to them when they bought their current car.
That's a great point. Can the automotive industry, can Toyota in particular, get the insurance industry to start providing discounts? Because presumably if there's fewer accidents, fewer people getting injured and all, it should reduce the cost. And even if they just reduced it a little bit over the life cycle of the car, the car ownership cycle, it'd pay for all that new technology.
Yeah, we sure hope so. I'm not an insurance adjuster, but I would think that if it's going to reduce accidents and claims, it should come back to the consumer in the form of premium payments. So we're hopeful of that.
Well, good. Well, Bill Fay, thanks so much for this quick update of everything going on at Toyota.
Okay, thank you, John.